Let's go to the Deputy Premier of New South Wales, John Barilaro now. He joins us from Sydney. John, this is still a drastic situation. When we're talking about the weather there, it's just not more rain going into the catchment, but of course the Warragamba Dam is going to be spilling over for days to come, and you've got rivers flooded right up and down the New South Wales coastline. How dire is it?
Yeah, Chris, it doesn't end just because the rain stops. We've got our river systems have swollen, they're saturated, they can't take any more water, and we'll still have rain events north of the state, even southern parts of Queensland, and that's going to run through the system, and that in itself can cause continued flooding, especially those areas that are, their banks have breached their levees. So we're not out of the woods yet, and of course we welcome the reprieve when it comes to no more rain. But there are some storm fronts that we've got to be careful of leading into the weekend. But for us now, it's starting to evaluate the impact of the rains, the flooding, the damage that has occurred, and start the recovery. That's the most important part now.
Yeah, one of the best things about the clearing weather is that you can get helicopters up and boats out to try and get to people, because some people are stranded without supplies or need to be brought back to the other side of flooded waterways.
Yeah, Chris, there are parts of regional rural New South Wales where we've got farmers or communities isolated. We've had some serious impact also on livestock, dairy farmers on the mid-north coast and beef farmers, and we're going to make sure we get some fodder out to those farms to feed the stock, because a lot of their pastures have been destroyed. This is just the start of what we need to do, and today the Premier has asked me to lead the recovery as I did post bushfires, so I'll do the same now post floods. I'll get out and about. I was out in the mid-north coast yesterday around Kempsey and those areas, and Nambucca and even Telegraph Point, where I've started to see the serious impact. There are a lot of roads that are crumbling, are impacted, infrastructure on the ground, but we still have evacuation orders in place. We still haven't called out for support. So at this stage, the 1,700 plus volunteers on the ground who are responding will still have a bit of work ahead of them.
Now, the clean-up will come first, and that'll be a massive task, but do you expect you'll need to have ongoing financial support for farmers and businesses who have been knocked awry by this?
Yeah, look, we will look at all the support packages that we had in place post-fires, and then what we had for, of course, in relation to the COVID pandemic. And this is just another hit on those small businesses and those communities. This is the area that I led post the fires, and we've got the same infrastructure in place, the same economic response teams. We've got the same team I'm working with, Shane Fitzsimmons and the Commissioner for Resilience. So we're ready to go, and we'll get out on the ground and we'll meet the needs. We'll tailor packages. We'll work with both the feds, and I'll talk to my treasurer about the sort of support we can put in the ground. But this is hard. I saw it yesterday already. The impact is serious, and we need to get on top of it.
Yeah, it's tragic, really. What you're saying is you're well practiced in putting in a response to a large-scale natural disaster, because many of these areas were hit hard by bushfires just over a year ago. We've only got about a minute to go, John, but briefly, can you tell me, does this flooding prove the case for raising the wall of the Warragamba Dam?
Look, I think, you know me, I want to build dams, and we should be raising dam walls everywhere, and Warragamba was a commitment that we made in raising a dam wall by 14 metres, but we just have had one roadblock after another. There is an issue around it's in a heritage area and a very sensitive wilderness area. So we can't keep just trying one option. If that's not going to work, what is plan B? We need to work to plan B, and that may not be raising the dam wall. It could be lowering the levels, building a second desal plant that feeds into the water supply. So let's find out where this lands and get it right. But I tell you what, this is a message to everybody. When it rains, we must store more, collect more, because we know we're going to have dry periods, and hopefully we can get some answers.
Thanks for joining us, John. I appreciate it.